Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm returning to a subject that I began yesterday. This is the second episode of what the rich are going to do with all those tax money cuts, those tax cuts that the Republicans want to give to them through extending the Bush tax cuts for the rich in lieu of the Obama tax cuts for the middle class. As I said yesterday, with regard to the 1% top income group in this country, the high and mighty, who earn more than $1.3 million a year in taxable income, according to the Republican plan, each one of them will receive a tax cut every single year of $83,347 each year. Now, I've given a lot of thought to what they're going to do with that money. I made some suggestions yesterday, and here are some more suggestions about what they could possibly do with this windfall that the Republicans want to hand to them at a time when this country has 9.5% unemployment, 40 million people who cannot see a doctor when they're sick, and so many people who are in danger of losing their homes. For instance, the rich, the idle rich, the high and mighty, the ruling class, they can buy 3 tickets to the most expensive suite at the Super Bowl. That costs only $75,000. They'll have $12,000 left over in pocket change. Here's something else that they might do with the windfall that the Republicans want to give them. They can go to the top of Mount Everest. That costs only $65,000. A luxury climb to the top of Mount Everest with somebody holding your bag for you the whole way up. Just one thing, make sure you don't fall down. Here's something else that they can do with the Republican tax plan to give $87,000 a year to the rich. They can take a beautiful 110-day cruise around the world. That costs only $80,000. And it's up to them what they do with the other 250 days a year. But think about that. Think about people in the middle class who struggle, save for a vacation year after year, and sometimes occasionally get to go on a 3 or 4 or even a 5-day cruise. With the Republican tax cut for the rich, the millionaires can go on a 110-day luxury cruise, not just one year, but every single year. Here's something else that they can do. They can enjoy 2 nights at the Hugh Hefner Sky Villa at the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas. That costs only $80,000. They'll have $7,000 left over for tipping the bellman. And remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And as I pointed out yesterday, the Republicans want to stuff so much money into the pockets of rich people in this country, the millionaires, the people who make an average of $1.3 million a year, that every single one of them, every year for the next 10 years will be able to enjoy a luxury cigar in the morning and a luxury cigar in the evening as well. And they can light each one of those cigars with a $100 bill. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not sure that's the best use of $100 billion a year of tax money. I have some other ideas about what I'd like to see happen. I'd like to see jobs, and more jobs. And if you do the arithmetic, you'll find that the $100 billion a year that the Republicans want to hand over to the rich so that they can further comfort the comfortable, that could be used instead to provide a decent job, a job with a living wage, a decent day's pay for a decent day's work to 3 million Americans. And in a single stroke could reduce unemployment in this country from 9% to 7%. But more importantly, take that $100 billion and make sure it actually circulates in the economy. Because what will the rich do with it? They'll keep it in their pockets. Or they'll send it abroad buying luxury goods like we discussed yesterday. Or they'll take a cruise around the world that adds nothing to the American economy. But if you actually did take that money and you created 3 million jobs at $30,000 a year for the American people, then you would see our economy revive overnight. Now, when it comes down to my vote, For tax cuts for the rich versus jobs, I'm going to vote for jobs. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.